To all those who doubted, lost their faith, never said it was going to happen, or those who just kept posting the gifts in all of the Hot Toys announcements and complained, Return of the Jedi 40th, we didn't get anything, and Hot Toys screwed us, and any other complaint you could possibly think of. Today's the day that I can finally say, you. Hey everyone, Mr. Mom Collectibles. I am back with another video. Very excited about this one. We finally got the Han Solo from Return of the Jedi. Guys, you've seen it all today. I'm making the video. I'll pull it up here so you guys can check it out. Everybody's been talking about it. It definitely is an incredible announcement from Hot Toys. Like I said, Han Solo, 1/6 scale figure from Return of the Jedi. I mean, there's a lot to unfold here, but obviously it's going to be a lot of repetitive stuff that you probably heard. I think everybody was putting out content today about it, but I wanted to put down a video to kind of break down my thoughts about it, how I felt, because let's be honest, this is a figure. And when I say Han Solo, I know like a lot of people are going to, there's already people hating, making the comments. We're going to get into those in a little bit. But, you know, to get another Harrison Ford, Han Solo, I know we got the old Indiana Jones, but to get a Han Solo, for me personally, it's a very rare feat. And it's just so awesome because it means so much just from the perspective, okay, the figure. We could talk about the figure. We'll jump into this stuff definitely. But for me, it just opens the door to where everything is on the table. Hot Toys delivered. Patience was rewarded. Those who had faith that never lost it, that one day they can, give us this figure. Here you go. So let's jump into it. Han Solo, like I said, this is from the Return of the Jedi. It's just such an awesome looking piece. Like I said, it comes with a couple different outfits. So we're gonna break into it. Awesome little little diorama base there from Endor. It looks like, and just jumping into it's just something so cool. I mean, obviously they're gonna do all the classic poses from Return of the Jedi. You have different ways of posing him, two different styles. You can do the jacket, or you can do without, and you have this look here, him doing the pose. Now with the head sculpt, you do have the separate eye rolling system. Do I think that this head sculpt right off the bat is like perfect? Absolutely not. Could it be worked on? Yes, of course it could. I always say there's no such thing as perfection. It doesn't exist. If you're going to strive for it, you're just going to fall flat on your face. Obviously, if this is the final figure we got, I'd be completely happy with it. As a matter of fact, at the time of recording this video, I've already ordered two of them, and I'll kind of go into my thought process on that. I already pre-ordered two of them, so I'm already locked in on this, but I really like it a lot. And, I was kind of thinking about this, people are already kind of talking shit about the head sculpt. Oh, it really doesn't look like him. The hair looks fake, all that stuff. Once again, these are initial reactions from a prototype that's been up for probably about 8 hours, 9 hours. Can Hot Toys always go back and retool, rework? Of course. I mean, if this isn't your first, if you've been collecting Hot Toys, you already know the game that this could not be the final product. I mean, it could, but they could always go through a retooling phase. Things can change. People are saying too many wrinkles on the forehead, stuff like that. Harrison Ford is a very expressionary type of character when it comes to Star Wars or acting. And if you go back, I mean, it's so hard to capture someone like that. Think about that. He didn't walk around Star Wars with just a mopey expression the entire time, where one figure captures that. He was very expressional. He had a very eccentric expression a lot of times, throughout all different courses of the movie. So to capture, him exactly in one moment, it's just going to be hard. I think Hot Toys did a really great job in this. I do think obviously you can go back in and fine tune things to just tighten it up a bit more. So I'm not going to sit here and pretend, everything is absolutely perfect, but like I said, this figure does represent a lot more than it just being a figure. It represents that Hot Toys, I don't, listening to the people, listening to the community, but they're giving us something that they've we wanted for a very long time, which was another Han Solo. Now you can get into the debate about, Bespin or, Return of the Jedi. The fact is it's Return of the Jedi. Could we ever, there's no reason why we couldn't get a Bespin one in the future. But as I always say, take what we get and enjoy it. I go into looking at Hot Toys as I'm not there's a laundry list of stuff that I would really love to hope come out one day. But I take these announcements for what they are, and I'm just living in the moment and enjoying what I have. So if this is the only Han Solo that we ever get again, I'm happy with that. I got a Han Solo in my collection. I don't own one, and I'm so happy to have one. And if you are people out there, and I've already seen a few people dumping the New Hope ones online, I mean, there's no reason I would be selling older versions because every version of him is a little bit different. So it represents different points of him throughout the movies. So for me, if you have an older version, there's really no reason to sell it. Why? Unless you really only want one version in your collection, so be it. But for me, I wouldn't sell anything off. I wouldn't sell the New Hope ones. That's a completely different version of the character, different outfit, different sculpt. Absolutely, I would keep them all. It's a very in terms of Star Wars, I think he's definitely one of the rarest, just because of the situation of not making them as often. So it definitely adds a little bit more to it. But as I said, it looks really awesome. I really am I'm very surprised by this. And right here, you have two styles of look that you can go with. You can do it the long coat or not. That's kind of the reason why I pre-ordered two of them. That we can display in both styles. I'm really excited to take this outside in the woods in my backyard, do photography and stuff like that. But what it comes with, you have a separate roll line. It's pretty simple. There's not much going on with it. Hence why the price I think is pretty good too. Separate rolling eyeballs, two styles of look, newly sculpted hands with natural details, environmental figure base, and obviously the holster and stuff. So they do make a point actually of kind of emphasizing the hands a little bit, which is interesting. So that's just showing that Hot Toys is going back and trying to rework things. And they're trying to, it says being more expressionary with the hands and more detailed. Because like I said, he does have a lot of certain expressions. Like this is a very famous one, right? Him standing outside and just they're definitely mimicking a lot of classic poses with him with with his hands and with the figure. So he's a very expressionary type of character. Like I said, it's original trilogy too. Like I made that rule, very early on that, I was kind of backing off Star Wars a little bit when it came to the Disney side, but original trilogy was always grandfathered in. And as I said, and I remember saying this last year, when people are flipping out about Return of the Jedi, 40th, like Hot Toys reset collectors' expectations of, what to expect, which is don't expect anything. Take it what it is. Yeah, it's always nice to hope. It's always nice to think, oh, I hope they do this. Hey, for me personally, after seeing this, there is no reason why an 89 Jack Nicholson 2.0 figure is off the table. There's none. There's none whatsoever. You could argue, oh, well, he wants so much more money. Well, that everyone said the same thing about Harrison Ford. And now what are we talking about? Right? What are we talking about here? So, regardless, it just means that nothing is off the table. Now, what I want to do is I want to jump over to it's up on Sideshow right now. So this went up a few hours ago. So that was also another thing. Did Sideshow know about this? Was it a surprise? Because typically, when a release, announcement happens, this is a little bit later in the morning. Actually, we got Catwoman yesterday. Now we got Han Solo, and usually Sideshow and we'll put up the little image that's kind of silhouetted out where you don't even have the photos yet and you do it for pre-order. They put this up not too long ago, a couple hours ago. So everything was definitely delayed. So what was a surprise? Was Sideshow know about it? They was holding out. Who knows? But definitely here's a shocker for me. $290, obviously before tax and shipping, if you order from Sideshow. I think it's a really great price. For this, and you could argue, how much would it have been with the character licenses? Would it have been 300, 350, whatever have you? Granted, doesn't come with a lot of accessories, but neither, this character in the movie didn't have a lot of stuff to go by. So I think it's actually a really good price. I do think it's really well priced for what it is. And just going through the stuff, like I said, I'm just really excited, but it represents so much. It represents so much for everyone out there who just lost faith. I don't want to keep harping on that, but it's true. Every time Hot Toys released, a new announcement, people would just drop the GIF. Where's Han Solo? Him putting his hands out. Where's Han Solo? Or, Hot Toys screwed us with Return of the Jedi 40th. Or, Hot Toys isn't listening, whatever it may be. And I'm a firm believer in the fact that if you look at the lines of Hot Toys figures, Return of the Jedi is actually, I would think, one of the more complete lines of figures. So if they went back in and said, we're going to do 2.0s of stuff, you have to be prepared that you're going to get more old stuff reissued or 2.0 than brand new stuff. You would get another Luke. If Hot Toys followed the trend of, hey, listen, we're going to go back in for 40th and give you a whole bunch of new figures, you'd be getting most of the same stuff that we already got. Luke Skywalker, Boba Fett, Darth Vader, which although that one's new, you'd get a lot more stuff. Return of the Jedi is definitely one of the more complete lines. Now you just added a Han Solo. I would argue put a Chewbacca in there, and you have a really complete line of Star Wars figures. Maybe if you want to stretch and do R2D2, at that point, then it's really like lock, stock, and it's done. And then there's other figures that I know people have wanted on a wish list. that are just not realistic to the general public, of people buying. Like if they did a job of the Hut, although how cool that would be, you got to understand the scale and the mass of that. How many collectors are really going to buy a job of the Hut because of the price? I'm just putting that out there. So the fact is, where I'm going with this is that when the 40th anniversary of Return of the Jedi came out, I wasn't actually kind of surprised we only got a few figures. We got figures that more or less completed the existing line versus them going back and giving you 2.0s of all the old stuff. Because reality is, people would have complained, like they always do, that we would have got a 2.0 Luke Skywalker, or we would have got another princess, another Leia, things like that. So, like I said, it's really like if they did a Lando. I mean, I know people would buy it, but we still have, the Empire Strikes Back Lando sitting at Sideshow. So I question, did Return of the Jedi need to really be overhauled versus just being topped off, so to speak? And that's kind of what this is. This is kind of like, you had your appetizer, dessert. I'm sorry, your appetizer and your dinner. Now Han Solo is kind of like the dessert. There you go. Return of the Jedi is done. That line's complete. I think you could still get a few more things out of this, but like I said, you got Scout Troopers, you got Stormtroopers, you got the Emperor, you got the Royal Guards, you have Darth Vader. Now you have the three main characters. Yes, I'd give you Chewbacca, honestly. And then I know that's what a lot of people are saying because of Han Solo, we're going to get Chewbacca or hopefully get Chewbacca. And I really do hope we get one. It would be nice to get one because a lot of collectors have missed out on that. But this figure to me just represents so much more possibilities. And I know I'm not the only one who've said it. A lot of people say it, if you look at Star Wars this year, you look at DC, you look at Marvel, what figures is Hot Toys going to produce that's new material? Not much, right? We really just have Deadpool. That's really it. So it gives Hot Toys the opportunity to kind of catch up on a backlog. You're going to get 2.0s, maybe not so many reissues. You're probably going to get more exclusives, artisans. So anything is on the table. Anything is, I mean, also it's an anniversary year for 89 Batman. Might get the Bat computer. We could probably, might get a Jack Nicholson 2.0. There's no reason why now. That's, people have always complained about the price point. Well, now what do you got to say about this? And, there's already been people out there complaining, and I've seen it, oh, the sculpt doesn't look right. Or, oh, this isn't my Han Solo. It's Bespin Han. That's the one I want. Or there's those saying, oh, I told you so. I heard everything today. I filmed this video later in the day. I was going to do it in the morning. But for me, I wanted to wait until I got the price in to kind of complete my whole idea, my whole reaction to it. So $290, I think it's a great price. To see what it comes with, I want to look at the details to see what's in the box. So you get the authentic likeness of Harrison Ford from Return of the Jedi, head sculpt with separate eye rolling system, movie accurate facial expression with detailed wrinkles and skin texture. They're even calling that out about the wrinkles. People say, oh, the wrinkles, they're even making that a point that like the wrinkles are part of the description. Okay, so Hot Toys has an idea what they're doing. Detailed short brown hair sculpt, body with 30 points of articulation, 30 centimeters tall, 7 pairs of interchangeable hands, including relaxed pistol holding and gesture. Each head sculpt is hand painted. The costume, camouflage coat. I was interested to see what the material is. V-neck top, navy blue colored vest, dark brown colored belt with a communicator, brown belt with blaster holster, pants and colored boots, one blaster, accessories, one Bush's diorama accessory, specially designed figure with Star Wars logo. The only thing, I was kind of hoping, but I could not the end of the world. Just the things to be mindful of: the boots and the holster here. I mean, this I was kind of hoping for either a leather. Leather would have been asking a lot, but there's other I think there's Wrecker or whatever's had a leather accessory. So forgive me, Wrecker, who one of the clones out there had a leather accessory, I believe. So it would have been really balls if they would have made this whole thing leather. That would have just been like the absolute cherry on top. And then these boots here, is going to be some kind of pleather based material, most likely, or some kind of hybrid. So not real leather, but this is just one of those examples that no matter what, Hot Toys aggravates me about the soft goods situation, and I feel like their incorrect usage of it. This would have been a banger of a figure, even if it was $290 and I paid like $320. And hey, you're gonna get the whole gun belt's gonna be leather. That would have been really, really awesome. But I know there's a lot of people on the secondary market that make this stuff. So if there's someone that wants something that's genuine leather, you could always do that. But this is just one of those where, I mean, you're going to hear a lot of positive things, but you're going to hear people be negative about it. And it's like, I feel like you're splitting hairs on this. I do feel like if you listen to the negativity, you got to really filter it out of what's honest criticism and what's clickbait bullshit. And there's a lot of clickbait bullshit out there, to be honest with you. It really is. You see you see the energy that this is giving off for a lot of collectors out there. They're just so happy. The streams are that's just so awesome to see. So if you're just looking at stuff, you're always going to get negativity or what you or people deem as negativity or constructive criticism, what have you. It's fine, but you got to really sift through what's clickbait bullshit versus stuff that's genuine. Like I'm genuinely so happy about this, and like I said, for this figure, and more importantly, what it represents from Hot Toys going forward. I'm super excited for 2024. There's just so many options that are on the table. Everything's on the table. There isn't a single thing that I would say, nah, I don't really see them making that anymore. And if there was, I completely will eat pie on that, so to speak, because there are certain things like I know I was, oh, N1's never going to happen. Yeah, it makes everyone a little bit more of a believer without a doubt. But for Han Solo, there was always a possibility they were going to do it. It's just a matter of if and when. And I did a stream a few weeks ago with the Hadalorian, who even was saying, "Listen, it can be done. It's not like it's an impossible thing. They're just the legalities that have to get hurdles to make it happen." And the fact is, this was probably in the works for a while because these Hot Toys just don't pop up out of nowhere. They don't decide tomorrow, "Hey, we're going to do Harrison Ford." This has been in the works for probably about a year to make a prototype, a final approved. This has probably been in the works for quite some time, so they weren't able to make it for a 40th anniversary, 40th Return of the Jedi anniversary. So all those collectors that were so pissed off about it, like now start thinking about it. Think about how long the R&D and the design and the approval process it probably takes for one of these figures. Minimum a year at least. So if you dial the clock back, they were never going to make the anniversary of 40th anniversary, 40th Jedi. So there could have been delays. Harrison Ford's team could have probably not approved stuff. We don't know. But the fact is, here it is. We're talking about it, and you should be excited about it, honestly. I'm super excited. And even if you weren't buying this, just to see the excitement that it's giving to other collectors, it's just awesome because to be honest with you, there's not that many Hot Toys, very far few in between that really make the community overall super excited. There just isn't, to be honest. There's just isn't that many. And when it is, it's just so awesome to see everyone's positivity about it. But like I said, that's how I feel about it. I definitely rambled on. I'm excited. It's hard to articulate thoughts into a video, but I tried my best to really let you know where my mindset is. I did order two of these. Like I said, I ordered pre-ordered two because I understand the significance of the character. I don't know if we're ever going to get a Han Solo again. So I'm going to display two versions, code on, code off. I'm not that person that does that. So for me to order two of these right now, there's significance to the figure. That's just my personal opinion. But as I said, as collectors, we all have to, go our own way financially, space, what works for you. This is just one of those. It's just going to be an interesting situation to follow going forward. 2024, we've had so many great announcements so far, and we're 2 months in. It's just going to be an exciting ride for the rest of the year, I really feel like. And the fact that we're not getting as much Marvel content and stuff like that might be a good thing because I think we need a break personally from a lot of these movies and shows pumping so much stuff out. And then there's Hot Toys. I think it's good. It gives Hot Toys a chance to kind of take a step back, go into the vault, or give us just some different things that we didn't expect that isn't based on a TV show. Normally, when there's movies and shows out, we can kind of forecast like, oh, we're probably going to get figures from this or figures from that. But the fact is that there's not much material out there right now. I personally think is a really good thing for Hot Toys. That's just my 2 cents. But that's what all I have to say. Drop a like on this video. Please consider subscribing if this is in fact your first time. And definitely drop a comment below. I want to hear from you. Are you getting this? Are you passing? How many are you buying? Positive, negative, bring it on. I don't care. I'll respond back. If you're excited, I love you for it. If you don't like it, that's okay too. All the love, no matter what. Till then, this is Mr. Mom Collectibles saying take care, and I will see you guys in the next video.